Ready? All right, good morning, everyone. We will start this meeting with a closed session for labor discussions pursuant to RCW 42.30.140 parentheses 4 for labor discussions. We will return at 10 a.m. to continue. Thank you. right, we're back. So with that, we would like to invite Chief Hanson.
Am I on?
You're on.
All right, well, good morning.
Mike that guy up.
Mic me up. So today, this is a relatively easy briefing. This is just a DOC, Department of Corrections, annual contract renewal. They've upgraded the rates. By law, they can only increase 3% a year, and that's what they've done on the chart here. So we moved to the next highest classification, and they extended the duration of the contract. About 2 years ago, we really started working with partner with DOC again, and they're doing their hearings in the jail. And we're actually taking DOC violators that are out on secretary's warrants and people that are out in the community that need to be in jail. We've been taking them. So this is a draft contract from DOC, and they're asking for our renegotiate, or not negotiation, but authorization to continue. So
2 questions, if you don't mind, on that.
Sure.
Do they have different rates with different people?
I'm not sure.
Can you find that out, please?
Yeah.
And on that,
I think, no, actually, I do know the answer to that, because I know SCORE, when they developed the contract with DOC, they came in at a higher rate. Now, unless we cancel the contract with them and then start a new contract, by law, they can't increase the rate any more than 3%.
and that's why I was
That's
asking.
why we're a
this.
little bit farther behind than
Yes.
some of the other
And we
counties.
need to figure out how much on that, because that may have to be an option, because our cost of incarceration is much higher than that.
Well, it actually, they pay less than what it costs us to outsource to Nisqually.
Yes.
So, it's,
Yeah.
we've had some
So-
internal conversations about that.
And again, I'm not directing anything, it's just commissioners talking. Please look at what that would look like to cancel and get what we're supposed to, because we just can't afford to keep going backwards.
Right.
There was a time that when they were more than competitive, and it actually helped us at the county level to be able to pay for the jail that we had. We
Yeah.
wanted them, actually.
Yeah, for sure.
But then over the years,
Yeah.
so if you wouldn't mind looking at that and maybe bringing something to us in the near future, I
Okay.
appreciate it. But I'm supportive of moving forward, unless, actually, I'm a backup on that. Would you rather have enough time to look at that and see what it might look like to have a new contract before we move forward on this one? Because I don't know what your
The thing
dismissal
is, if we're kind of in a predicament, because if we cancel the contract, I'm assuming that there's probably some state laws that say you gotta be without a contract for this duration of time. I don't think we can just cancel it one day and start it the next day. So we would probably be without the contract for
That's what we have to
a
find
year
out.
or whatever it is, I don't know.
Are
but-
you okay with holding off on this for a couple of weeks till you get some of those answers? I'll support it if you're not, but if you can, I'd rather get the answers first.
Yeah, they haven't been putting heat on me yet, although the current one I think is expired, I think it just expired, so
Yeah.
we're really technically without a contract right now. So,
Well, and actually, that may benefit us too.
well, it could, yeah,
So, can you take a couple of weeks, take a look at that,
okay,
please?
Okay.
But again, if not, I'll back you. If you want, if you tell me you have to do it now, I'm gonna support it back.
well, we're housing the prisoners,
Yeah.
so, I think we should sign the contract, and then I think maybe for the next, because we can cancel the contract. It's there's language in the contract that allows us to withdraw from the contract if we want to. And if we need to, I guess we could go down that path at next month or whatever.
Well, this won't be on for 2 weeks anyway, if we
Okay.
agree to put it on.
Yep.
Can you look at that and
Yep.
then brief us next week on
Yep.
whether, then
Yeah, we
I'm
can do
supportive
that.
with that provision.
Okay. Sounds good.
Minor detail, associated cost budget items in here.
Mhm.
You've got July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2025ve. I think that's
Well
supposed to
done.
say 2026.
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah, that's
a little
DLC's.
clerical error.
Which one is it? 2020?
Associated cost budget impact.
Oh, okay, you're talking on the briefing document.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha, yeah.
It's not in the contract, it's correct.
Gotcha.
In the briefing documents.
Thank
It's
you.
not a big deal, but.
Thank you,
Okay,
Chief.
all right. Any other questions? No?
Nope.
Just quick on the Squally, we had 12 over there last week. We brought a bunch of them back as our population dropped. So we're back down to 4 over there. And we've got 63 in the jail, which is a little bit more than our capacity, but we're hoping that the courts will release them today. So we're managing it, you know, and I promise you guys that's what we do, and try to stay out of booking restrictions, so.
How are we doing on employment?
We have, Kelly, we got, what, 2 in background?
Currently, yes, 2 in backgrounds.
What are we,
and
6, are we 6 shy right now?
8,
8 shy and 2, you
8
have 2
out
in
of
background?
27.
Okay, and 2 in
So,
background?
yeah, and then we have 4 interviews scheduled next Tuesday.
Did we not change it to increase, and remove, CSO?
That's part of the 8.
And, no, but I mean, cause the 27 was the number before we did that.
No, I think that was just employees.
No, I had 27.
27.
Because I had 27 and I had, what was it, 5 CSOs?
No, 3.
We had 3.
Oh, 5 total.
Yeah, we had 5
There's
total, but we had,
We
we
took
had
2 of them,
Yeah.
moved them back.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying,
It's
so
20
27,
so
we should
it's
be at closer to
29
29 now.
29
Can you
total
look at that,
FTEs.
cause, as we're doing budget, we wanna make sure that we get back to
Yeah,
replacing them with,
corrections officers,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's worth a little extra
I
to
think
have
there
it,
is,
and
I think
because of the
there is.
redundancy and everything else.
Right.
When we did that originally, it was needed, it was important, because there's no other way to do it, but we've done some things to change that, so.
Yep, and that worked actually when we converted those 2, because we got a couple control records
Yeah.
out of it, they're still there.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that worked,
yeah,
at least temporarily. So, okay,
Thank
any
you.
other questions?
no,
No? Okay, all right, thank you. All right, have a good day. Yep, thank you.
Auditor, you're up.
Good morning, Commissioner Tarswell. Commissioner Netherly, good morning. So, in our never-ending quest to improve election security, we're planning to replace and update the sensors that we have in our vote-by-mail ballot drop boxes. Easy Vote is the new name for our previous supplier, and the sensors that we have now are considered obsolete, and so Easy Vote's got a new generation sensor for us. The one difference is that instead of the previous purchase arrangement that we had for the old sensors, these will be leased to us on a 3-year lease. And I'm okay with that because it helps us, I think, stay current with technology as it evolves. But it's an important thing to do. If you remember, was it a year ago, February, we had somebody try to steal one of our ballot drop boxes from the Belfair Library, unsuccessfully. But this is one in our primary mechanism to protect against that, because it's got a GPS element to the sensor, so if anybody hits the drop box or tries to move the drop box, we get notified right away.
I'm supportive.
And
Could you, is it possible to, or is it even feasible to have people putting one ballot at a time and have a scanner that reads so you could instantly know who's at least voted, whether they,
there are what they call smart drop boxes out there. We haven't really looked into those yet, but that technology is out there.
yeah, because you could, I mean, you can read barcodes really, I mean, fast as they could put them in there. It would be an interesting feature to add, would be instantaneous acknowledgement that somebody has voted.
Yep, it's
Now-
out there.
Especially if you can go for a grant to be one of the leading counties for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Something to look
we'll
at.
take another look at that. It's a good idea, Pat. Thank you.
It,
Just like for the overall context, this is money that we're gonna be getting reimbursed by the Secretary of State's office through their information security grant. And we're eligible for another $80,000 tranche for fiscal year 2026, which is the Secretary of State's fiscal year, ends June 30th next year. And then the rest of that money, we'll talk more about this later, but we'd like to protect as much of that as possible in anticipation of a conversation we hope to have with you about moving our ballot processing room over to Building 6. But that's another
If we-
story.
No, if we can, let's bring that up right now a little bit, because Pat wasn't here during a lot of those conversations, and I understand that, and I'm not speaking for Commissioner Trask, that's her thing, but I
Sure.
understand she's in the loop on some of this stuff. A long time ago, when we were talking about moving the courts around and stuff, they were looking for facilities where they could house their machinery and stuff like that. One of the ones that came up is we were suggesting the temporary building that we have over there, which has been worked as a courthouse for all that time. And I believe Kelly has been going over and looking at some of the options, and just wanted to see, I'm supportive of it, I wanted to see if you had any heartburn with any of that.
I don't have enough knowledge on it to have heartburn, so.
We can talk more about it afterwards,
Okay.
absolutely, but
Well-
the thought is always looking for more space for ballot processing. That's an opportunity with the ballot processing room down the hall here over next door. And then bring the vote center back down to the main floor where we have more space and access for the public, and then relocate the election staff back downstairs and make.
Of which this section over here was upgraded using grant monies for the auditor's office,
Yeah.
just so you know.
So anyway, that's kind of the big picture, and I'll look into those barcode reading ballot drop boxes. They are out there, they call them smart drop
Be
boxes.
curious, see how much, and see if we can, they've gotta start somewhere, right? Why not with Mason County?
Well, we've been out in front in a lot of other ways, we'll take
Yeah.
a look at this. So.
Yeah, it might help cut down on duplicate ballots if that's happening at all, you know.
Well, I could also
I
see
mean,
how
statewide, it's an issue. but-
it may help us to know if there's a theft or any other, not from you, I'm just saying, but it could show.
Careful now.
Well, it could show misconduct in different places if it goes in there and it doesn't show up somewhere else.
Right, there were counties where there were fire bombs put inside,
Yeah.
or,
Yeah, Clark County.
yeah.
And you know who to
And you
call.
would know who had already, or whose ballots were in there,
So if they got destroyed, then you know who
Yeah.
needs to
Who to
submit a
contact.
replacement.
yeah.
We'll look into it.
Especially if we don't have to pay for it.
And just a last seed to plant with you guys, it looks as if the security grant funds will be available for fiscal year 2027, so we're gonna position to try to make good use of that money as well, another $80,000. So thank you for your time.
But please do bring back the numbers and see if there's any grants, ask our grant writer, because I'd like to find out about that sooner rather than later too.
Well, if it fits, we could capture it under information security.
I'll bet you it's gonna be a lot more than 80,000 though.
It could be.
Yeah. But if you don't ask, the answer's no.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably shouldn't need to be, because those
We'll get the information and bring it back to you guys.
Please do.
Thank you very much.
are pretty, you bet. All right, McKenzie, you're up.
Just think tacos, they come as
Right.
soon as we're done here, I'm done.
It's the only thing keeping me going right now.
Aw.
Good morning, commissioners.
Good morning.
So I have 2 items today. The first one is just bringing back the concurrence for the Timberland Regional Library. So I did reach out to my contact Rose with TRL. She spoke with, I believe, the other clerk of the board for Thurston County, and it is getting put before the commissioners. I don't have a timeline yet, but I did want to let you know that they are going to be discussing it. So if we want to concur with theirs, we can. If not, we can postpone. It's up to you guys.
We'll know before the next 2 weeks, right?
Hopefully. It's been kind of put off
Yeah.
a bit, so I can't
I'll
guarantee.
reach out to the 2 commissioners I share a couple boards with, and
Okay.
I'll see what they have to say.
So maybe we can hold off until Monday for putting it on our agenda?
Yeah, I can bring.
So be prepared to add it for a week.
Okay. I
Because
mean,
if they do concur and they go along with ours, but if they're gonna stand in front of us, we need to know.
Mhm.
Because that's a whole new thing, that never used to occur. And if it's starting to occur now, we need to know that.
Okay. Okay, and then the second item I have is from, Commissioner Trask sent this over. It's for the Department of Natural Resources, Board of Natural Resources County Representative. It looks like Commissioner Janicki is resigning. There was only one individual who put in an application for the position, and that was Clallam County Commissioner Randy Johnson. Commissioner Trask recommends voting for Commissioner Johnson due to his related experience and qualifications. This would need to go on tomorrow's agenda just due to the timeline.
I'm
So-
okay with that.
Yeah, it's her committee, I'll back it.
Okay. All right, and I think that's all I had. I believe Kim was supposed to be here to update you. I can if she's not here with the limited knowledge I have.
It's not on the agenda for tomorrow anyway though, right? So it could wait for the next week if she's not here.
Cammy, were we needing to put it on tomorrow's? So with,
Oh, that's right, she had something she needed to do today anyway.
so the reclassification for Maggie Houston.
Okay, that's what we're talking about, yeah.
Um,
It needs to be done in the public, so if you can do it, that's great, but if not, then we need to call her and have her come over, because it has to be in the public before we put it on our agenda.
Okay, I saw her and Tim, but I'm not quite sure where they are. I just know that the position needs to be added to the non-rep scale.
Yes,
I
but we need
believe,
her, we need somebody to explain what the scale, what the amount is, so if you can call her and have her come over, or
okay, thank you.
if not, we can wait, it'll come at the end of the meeting.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I can track her down
Yeah.
and see if we can get her.
Yeah, so if you don't mind, track her down, because it needs to be brought before the public.
Oh,
She's still
absolutely.
meeting with Chris.
I saw Megan, I was like, does Megan know more than I
Yeah,
do?
Megan can do it.
I can
That
help
works.
you, I can help you, I was just bringing it over, I had it signed by Tim, the resolution
Oh.
to add it back in
Yeah.
number 34, same as
Yep,
Darcy.
Yep.
Yep,
Perfect.
yeah, oh, here, you can have it.
Thanks, I
Well,
mean, I do.
no, you go ahead and present it, tell us what we're
I
talking about.
don't have anything else, that's
No,
everything. Oh,
what,
okay.
what's the number, do you have the scale?
I don't have the scale on me, Kim had it,
Yeah.
and we kinda like crossed paths on my way where I was like, I'll take it over. But it's at range 34.
Yep.
Yep, and Maggie would be at step 1, so that's the reclass part, and then the non-rep part is just putting that title back in.
Okay, so for the public, this assigns a 34 to the position, a range 34 to the
Yep.
position.
Yep, which it already is for Darcy's, we just give it a
Yes.
different job class in our system, so we put public defense after
Yes.
that title. Yep.
Because we utilize another position that is like it in order to create the position, so we're putting it in
Yeah.
it'll be before us tomorrow to put in a range 34, which is the same position that it is in for its like.
Prosecuting attorney,
Yeah.
administrative manager, so we're creating a public defense administrative
Yes.
Yes.
manager. Comparable job duties.
Sure she is.
Yep.
Although we just did it. Come on in.
They caught me.
Well,
Yeah,
Put you on the spot, sorry.
it's okay, I don't care.
We just had a discussion where we're telling the public that we're bringing in that position at range 34, which is the exact same amount as on the prosecuting attorney side, like jobs,
Yes.
just two different
Two
places.
different two different
34.
departments, but doing very similar.
Did you have a range, a number, we didn't bring it with us, the number that would be,
I wanna
I
say
had the range, but I didn't
34.
know the numbers.
Oh, I don't have the numbers with me, no,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
it's
but I can
Range,
get.
range 34.
It's
yeah,
range 34,
that's good enough.
it's range 34.
Okay, I'm,
And she'll come in at the step 1,
okay,
based on the
Yeah.
compensation from where she's currently at, she'll come in at step 1.
I'm comfortable,
And
Mr. Chair.
we had discussed making this
Retroactive to
yeah,
May,
right.
March 1st.
Yeah,
Yep.
because that's when the chief left and she assumed the
Yep.
duties in March.
Yes,
I thought, should add that in there. I support it as well.
there you go.
All right, thank you so much. And the resolution is,
Right there.
She's got it.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
I know, right? I actually was in your office, and I heard you on the computer.
I think I
Somewhere in the universe, I heard you talking about me because my ears were burning. I was trying to get back over here.
Well, I figured if I kept talking long enough, someone was bound to show up and save me. So thank you guys.
Melissa,
Good morning.
good morning.
I've got
Good
just
morning.
one item for you. Oh, there's Dave.
There's Dave.
Do you want me to just go ahead and?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So this is for the purchase of our mobile medical unit. You may recall, I think this was last fall or maybe even last summer, we had done a few bids for a newer unit. I'm going to back up and give a little bit of background. So we have this endemic grant, which is the expansion of our syringe service program, which includes wound care, the chronic disease or infectious disease testing. It's what we have our partnership with North Mason Regional Fire Authority. They do the clinical services for us. We finally need a new unit. We were a little bit conservative earlier on in the year because we still had our RV, which I thought it was newer than a 1997, but I guess it's a 1997. It's finally on, like, we can't use it anymore. It's been in the shop for a few months now, I think. The cost of repairs is more than what we purchased it for about 8 years ago.
Is it diesel or gas?
I think it's regular gas. I think.
gas,
Do you
yeah.
know? Yeah, it's regular gas. So this unit would replace that, and it would also have the additional accommodations for the clinical services that we have with North Mason Regional Fire Authority. Dave found a really great unit that's actually ready for us. We would just have to do a few modifications. I think there's a wrap on it right now, so we'd have to kind of just take that off. If we wanted to put branding or not, we could do that. But we have the funds for it already. We've kind of held on to them over the last few years. Are there any questions? Or is there anything you want to add, Dave?
So the unit we're looking at is on a Ford chassis, but it's a Tesco built unit. And Tesco is probably the best out there as far as building medical units. The nice thing about it is every surface is washable, sanitizable, and we can use it for vaccine clinics and public outreach, and it's got a wheelchair lift. So we can use it to go to, senior citizens and things where we can do some public health outreach, get public health out of the office and out in the community.
The funds will come from, that's what I'm reading now, please explain where the funds come from?
So we did a contract with the Cascade Pacific Action Alliance. We did some contract work for them several years ago. They paid us for that. We have had that in savings, and we're looking to use that money. Cascade Pacific Action Alliance was a subunit of choice.
How much do you have in that account?
About 260.
About 260? That's worth.
I support.
Okay, so I think this would go on the August 19th action agenda. There's already a resolution that's been signed by Tim. So, okay. I don't have anything else.
I have a question for you, Dave, or something
Yeah.
to think about and find out. So, Chelan County and a few others are looking at creating a joint mental health facility. They're using it, there's different ways they're looking at doing it through a mental health tax. They're also looking at utilizing their funds that they received from the opioid settlement and doing it with a couple of counties. I just wanted to put that out there for you to look at so you can maybe put together what that might look like here if we were to try and do it and get some money from the legislature. What kind of monies might be available,
Okay.
just for
in
future
fact,
discussion.
So quick update, I did apply for there's another settlement that came out, and I put our paperwork in before I left. So we need to come back to the commission and get direction from the commission, where would you like us to go with the opioid funding? Because there are any number of options, so I think we need to sit down and do a work group, and that can be part of that discussion as well. I am meeting with Dr. Tao from DOH around mental health programs. They want me to come talk to DOH about what we're doing currently and what we think about mental health in the rural landscape. So that all fits in.
Okay.
All right,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Commissioners, I have one other thing,
All right.
and we have, you might have gotten it, McKenzie might have gotten it to you. We have an employee we'd like to put forward for a Green Star.
Wonderful.
And
Okay.
it's Wendy Matthews, who runs our solid waste, or works in our solid waste, and we got a letter from someone she helped, and helped them clean up 80 tons of solid waste.
That's wonderful. I'm in favor of bringing that forward. It's a process we have when it's citizen, which we're citizens to, initiated recognition. We have a Green Star that we provide to them. We've done it a few times for our staff or the roads crews and stuff like that during horrific times when they've stood tall.
All right,
Looks like we
Okay,
got
we'll
it.
bring that forward.
Yeah.
bring it forward.
Righty, thank you.
Loretta, you're up.
Alrighty, good morning.
More.
It is Monday. Well, first of all, Mike's hard at it and asking to create some county road projects for some work out on fish barriers.
So we got some funding through Fish Barrier Removal Board and on the RCO on Little Skookum Inlet. There's 5 culverts. There's 3 of them on Lynch Road and 1 on Phillips and 1 on a private property. So the funding is for just design, and the grant is 2.9 million with a match of about 500,000. The biggest project is the one at 3.92 on Lynch Road. They're wanting, the Fish and Wildlife predicting us to do like a 250-foot long bridge there on Deer Creek. I don't think that's going to be necessary, so I don't think this much money is going to be spent, but we will move forward with the design. We're requesting to create CRP numbers for them.
Support.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right, and then the next one is pretty exciting. This was a citizen, student, who wrote in with a suggestion for a walkway. And so Mike and team quickly went to work and worked with Port and Cascade Natural Gas. And moving to reality.
Yeah, we received a request from a student that there's a lot of pedestrian and bicycle traffic between the school and Island Lake Road towards Sheldon Springs, towards the west there. And so you can see there is a goat trail there along the chain link fence, and we're proposing to actually pave that. And so we reached out to Cascade Natural Gas, and they were completely supportive of it. And then we reached out to the Port, and they actually are going to give us an easement here to actually do that. And we would request to pave that with Paths and Trails money. We have Paths and Trails money of about $365,000, I believe. And we take about, it'll probably cost around $50,000, $40,000, $50,000, somewhere in that range to accomplish this. And then put in crosswalks there at Island Lake Drive and kind of clean that all up, because that's the path everybody's taking, pedestrians are taking through school. So it'll start at school, which ties into their walk system, and then tie in down to Shelton Springs. And in the future, we would actually go farther down Shelton Springs itself. So yeah, the Port has looked at it, and they said that they support it and would like to give us an easement. So if our board supports it, we can move forward.
And so we don't very rarely ever use that money, so to even hear you say it caught me off guard a little bit, but I do know we have the funds that are available, and we have used it for safe routes to schools. Seems like a good thing. Is there eventually we're gonna have to work, we're not eligible for certain funds because we don't have some of the requirements for safe routes to school. Eventually we need to look at that and see what it looks like for the county, so that we could be eligible for some of those funds, but this seems like it align with that anyway. At 50,000, I'm supportive.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
Yeah, it's an exciting project. And needed. All right, we have a couple of news releases that we're requesting to speak to commissioners. We have vacancies on TIPCAP and the Solid Waste Advisory Committee. And TIPCAP, we're really in need of some members. Tim Lincoln will not be re-upping his membership. And you can see that'll leave us with 5 vacancies to fill on a 9-member committee. So if you've got friends, neighbors, interested peeps in your network, definitely help spread the word.
All right. I support the news release.
All right, so will that be the following? Yeah, too late for tomorrow, yes. To read tomorrow, yeah, okay. That will be at the next board meeting then. And then the last item that we have, commissioners, for action request is a letter to the Department of Transportation. And the letter is requesting support for a new access onto State Route 3. And this access is located approximately halfway between the Navy Rail Crossing and Log Yard Road, so right near where the existing church access is. And the reason that we're putting this forward, or the request forward, is that all of that area up on the plateau that's within our urban growth boundary has currently, the only access is out to Log Yard Road. And then there's an emergency vehicle access that goes across the railroad tracks and then out to Ridge Point Boulevard. Without a second actual access, we're capped. Development up there is capped because we've hit the 99 lot limit for having access and circulation. So that's the point of this, is that there needs to be another access for further development to occur up on the plateau.
Now, why would there be a cap on, with the roundabout? What am I missing?
Because of just total circulation. If you have over 100 lots, you need a
You're talking about for
second
that parcel,
pole.
not that it's limited, that
No,
we're
for
shutting
that
down.
entire area.
For that intersection can only handle 100 more cars?
No, it can, capacity-wise, but per our code, for fire code, for our code, for circulation and access, a second access is
And you brought some of
needed.
this to me earlier, and it's not that I'm against it, but there's some issues that still have to look at. You're talking about coming out where we have 2 lanes going
Sure.
up on the right.
And that would be part of what the developer would be required to do, is to work with
Well, shouldn't we
DOT
look at
about.
what that would look like first before we support something? That's where the, up there going to Belford, that's where the accidents occur. Stupidest people sometimes. They'll pull all the way over here and actually try to do a U-turn from this side and even in the gravel. It's, Rob Drexler almost died there, but it happens a lot. It's not once in a great while. So putting an access on a 2 lane here with the 1 lane there, they're still passing each other, trying to get past before they come together. That's the fear I have. Then you're talking about, if you're talking about a left trying to turn into that over the 2, so it'd be right in, right out.
Most likely it'd be a right-in,
I'd like to
right-out
ask you to put
access.
together what it actually would look like and what the impact would look like before we support something like that. That danger is really high.
Well, the letter says exactly that it would be
Right in, right
to,
out.
exactly, right in, but, or proceed with further design.
Yeah, but I'd like to see what the design
So
looks like.
ultimately,
We have a bad-
DOT's gonna approve it or not.
Yeah, but we have a bad habit of getting out in front first and then trying to clean it up later. I don't like doing that. I'd like to see what the design looks like. Instead of us just building stuff up there and then saying, hey, you know, we're okay with it before it's done. Let's see what it looks like first. The danger right there especially is super high. That's
Understood.
probably the most dangerous place in all of North Mason is right there on that hill. I don't know how you could do it before that. I'm trying to think of the land.
Exactly.
But
There
But it's
isn't.
still, it's something that has to be seriously considered. Maybe they should shorten up the passing lane or something. It just seems like a very dangerous situation to put these people into without at least looking at it fully and not just hoping that it'll happen. We have an intersection that happened because of that now that we all deal with when it comes to the McDonald's intersection and the apartments and everything that live up there. And then after the fact, we go in and try to make it right in, right out, only after the fact it's not working. People still are turning left and it's still dangerous.
can.
Accidents are happening. Let's be smarter this time. Let's,
But it's a big moneymaker for the state, because they like to sit there and write tickets for people making left turns.
it still ain't working. I still.
If they're there.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
So I guess my point is, I'd like to see what it actually, the design is, and what it would look like for the community.
That, to me, I understand exactly that point, but the letter is exactly that we're asking for a meeting with the developer and DOT to scope what the design would look like, and if they would even entertain it.
But
So
again,
that's
what am I
nothing
missing?
would move forward.
Loretta, that's not, it does move forward without us. It happened before. If we're not involved in the design of it, they make the decision on whether that happens, and we don't have a say. So what part am I missing? That's not appropriate, because we'll be left out of that conversation once we do something like this.
We conditioned the subdivision, the future subdivision.
And again, that's what we had on the other, and we conditioned it off of their approval, and then it happened. So again, we're pretending like that's not how it works, and I don't know why you're pretending like that's not how it works. That is how it works.
I'm not.
So let's do our responsibility and figure out what it is, what kind of impact that'll have on the community and that traffic going up that hill where all the accidents occur. Just at least look at what it would look like first. We sign off on it and say we're comfortable with it, then there's no big deal. But right now, we're just saying, put it to the state, and that's not, that didn't work. And the community was furious about that, and they still are. I don't wanna have to deal with them being furious about it, and I don't blame them.
I have a suggestion for that McDonald's turn. Would an island that forced right in, right out solve a lot of the problems of people trying to make a left? And
What needs to happen there is a roundabout, a small roundabout constructed at that intersection. And that's what's envisioned in the planned action EIS. So the impact fees that we collect from new development, that goes into a special fund. So, and that would be one of the projects that special fund would go towards.
But to pull that off, they'd have to cut into the hillside a long ways to create it, cause you can't do a traffic circle down the cliff. So it all has to move over to this side.
A bit, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep,
More than a bit, that's a heck of a thing, cause of the
Yeah.
requirements.
yep,
Cause we were all looking at that, and it's definitely has to be built all on one side of the highway.
yes.
is that right in, right out for that turn in to your
Yes.
development?
Yeah, that's the primary access to that development. There is another, further down or closer into Belfair itself, you could cut in and come that direction. So they do have kind of a couple ways that they could go if traffic was really rough.
Are you talking about the new development or the one that's already there?
I was talking.
The one that's already there.
Yeah, the one that's there,
Yeah.
they'll go behind the bank and make a left turn over there. Or they do the right turn, but they just do the left turn. You're right, one of the things that would have an impact, and that'd be more on our side compared to the highway,
Right.
is, but we talked about that like for Taco Bell and stuff like that in the past too, we just never did it. It was supposed to be part of that building. I don't know if it was ever supposed to be part of the building there, because once the state got it, they just,
Yeah,
They okayed it.
originally, well, what happened, yeah, the access was revised because of something with the adjacent property owner. They couldn't get easement to make the egress that they had submitted
on which one?
on Taco Bell,
On Taco Bell?
yeah. Yep. Yeah. All right. So that is that, and then for discussion items, last meeting tomorrow, commissioners will set the hearing for the 6-year and annual construction program. And part of what informs that laundry list of projects is the annual bridge report. And Mike's here to share with you what the highlights of the bridge report are.
So every year we're required by the WAC code to present a bridge report to the board. And this year we've accomplished that again. We're up to 100 structures we're looking at now. 59 of them are over, so the limit is 20 foot. So if the span's over 20 feet, it gets reported to the feds. If it's smaller than 20 feet, it just gets reported to the state and for our own records. So we have 59 that are reported to the feds and 41 that are what we consider short spans and stuff. So of those, and I don't know how detailed you want me to go into here, but of those 48 of them are concrete bridges, 8 are timber structures, about 15 are concrete box culverts, 27 are steel or aluminum culverts, and there's 2 actually steel superstructures that we have. So every year we look at about half of them, because it's minimum of every 2 years they have to be inspected. And so what's in the report? We no longer use sufficiency rating anymore. We use they're either rated as good, fair, or poor. Of our structures, we only have 2 that are poor, and that's Laboki Bridge and Chapman Cove. Those are both timber structures that we've applied for grant for replacement. We haven't got that yet, but we'll find out here in November to see what we can get. What the next item really is on it is whether a bridge is load rated, load restricted and stuff, and we have 8 bridges that are load restricted. Ike Bridge and Stretch Bridge are actually posted for what they call the single unit vehicles. In other words, the dump truck size vehicles are restricted. And they're basically because of the age of the bridge, they weren't designed for those types of structure, of vehicles, so. And then the other 6 are just posted for no overloads because we don't have plans for those bridges. And so they just automatically say no overloads can go across there, so. Then we have the scour critical stuff. So we have 5 structures that are considered scour critical by calculation. We have to have a plan of action for storm events. So any large storm event, we actually go and observe the bridge during the event and then after the event. So we have to have those plans in place. Unfortunately, we have about 26 other bridges that we have unknown foundation. And so unknown foundation, they may be on piling and stuff, but we don't know what the tip of the piling elevation is, so we have to treat them as if they're scour critical. And so we have those bridges to monitor during those storm events too. And we have a separate plan and drawings for those for our road supervisors to go out. He's got this area, you got that area, that type of thing. So it's a pretty efficient plan to do that.
Could you explain SU4 through SU7?
SUs are single unit vehicles, so 4 is for 4 axle, 5 is 5 axle, 7 is 7 axle. So those are basically, you look a lot of times at your super dump truck for asphalt paving, they'll have 7 axles on there.
Yeah.
And so there's a specific weight restriction for those, yes.
So how are they getting across the Stretch Island Bridge with concrete?
They have to use less concrete. So instead of 12 yards, they have to haul 7.5 or 8 or whatnot. So they're limited to that.
And the ones who came to us a while back, that was Treasure Island, right? That wasn't Stretch. That was Treasure, but it's their bridge, not
Treasure's
ours.
theirs bridge, yeah.
Yeah, they tried to get us, they were mad at us, but it's not our bridge, it was theirs. But Stretch still has quite a bit, so it is limited, but it's not restricted.
It's
to where they
limited
can't do
because,
it. They just
basically
don't care.
because it was designed, those vehicles didn't even exist in '71 when it was built. And so Stretch Island was actually originally built in '52. And then it was rebuilt in '54, Piers 7, 8, 9. And then in 1971, they came in and removed all the timber structure and replaced it again. And so it's a 1971 construction.
And the reason why it got my attention, with my eyes, I can't tell. So that Stretch Island, is that
Yep.
showing me splitting or
That-
degradation? What am I seeing with that?
There is hollow sounding marks in there. So anywhere we find what we think there is core rod or whatnot, they put the red tags on there.
Okay.
So that they can find them again.
Okay.
And that gets all recorded in the document for the bridge inspection report itself.
And what are we doing right now on that one in particular?
And that one right now, we're kind of waiting, it's kind of like your roads for grants. You either gotta let it deteriorate enough
I
to
got you.
where it's worth it, or you keep replacing the bad spots and they never get it right down.
Yeah.
So, it's in good shape for its age and for its structure of design.
Okay.
So,
That's why I thought it's because it's not completely no overloads and.
Nope.
And that, just knowing that bridge and knowing that community, but as long as they can still get the.
Yep. They just have a limited of their load, so that's what they have to do.
Pain, but it's not restrictive, so we're not cutting them off. They still
Nope.
develop out there is what it is, and if they can't develop, that changes things.
I would love to
Change
replace
it.
that bridge.
Values of the properties.
It's 360 feet, 61 feet long, and you probably have to put a 500 footer in there at least. So it's gonna be a, $20 million job.
Yeah.
Maybe more. So, or a culvert, and just fill across.
How are you gonna do a culvert there?
Well, in 1971, the county engineer actually suggested building a road across the Case Inlet instead of replacing the bridge. And they didn't do that because the property owners at that time did not want to be connected to the mainland.
Yeah.
And so they didn't do it, but it would be actually really easy to do. Permit-wise, it'd be really super hard to do, but it would be
I was saying, how are you gonna
construction-wise.
permit that?
Right,
It's a
right.
full-fledged waterway right now.
Right, right.
Maybe back in the 50s, you could have pulled that off. but-
Right, in '71.
Yeah.
So, Every year we're adding to these, to this list. When I first got here, we had about 64 structures. Now we're looking at 100. Some of those we actually have added, and it's like Scythical last year, Tunerville last year. We've replaced some. We upgraded North Fork Goldsboro by replacing the timber cap last year. Harstein Island Bridge used to be rated poor, but we did some deck repair on it, so the rating came back up a little bit more on that. So
Well, just for the public, the fact that we're getting more on the list is not bad. It's not a bad thing at all. It's the opposite. It's our county going out and finding and adding more things. The truth of the matter is the position and strength of our bridges has increased exponentially over the last 5-7 years with the work that you've done. We've taken a lot of danger bridges, collapsing bridges, and replaced them.
yes.
And not everybody's been happy when it's happened, but at least we know when they're going over it, we're not gonna lose constituents. So you deserve a pat on the back, not even though the number's getting bigger, that's because you're doing your work, not the other way around.
Yeah, you can sleep better at night.
Yeah.
So, our new structures are coming in for Portman, Crispin, and Danny Walker. Those bridges out at Beeville. The superstructure should be here anytime this month. We'll probably wait for, we might get one of them this year, but we will wait for mainly construction of next year. But that'll replace all those timber structures there too. So we'll get those off the list there too. So before they become poor and become a problem. So yeah, we've been pretty aggressive about this, but the program is good. The more structures we put on the list to inspect, the more gets routinely looked at every 2 years. The more you can watch things deteriorate and be ahead of the game.
More granting you go after, and
Yes.
no,
Yes. So
you've done well.
that's about it.
On the grant
Your
note,
chart's got a problem, by the way.
Say what?
Your chart's got a problem. Just a clerical. You have 22 listed on your chart as fair.
Yeah.
20? Just,
Yeah, it's close.
it's close, but
But I keep it moving.
yes.
one of them's wrong.
Thank you for
I
looking.
think the chart, the 20 is, yeah, I've got 20 is fair.
Yeah.
Sorry, as I'm reading through all these things, those things jump out at me.
Details matter. To your point, Commissioner Netherland, the grant funding, there are a lot of these projects that are on local access roads or short span, and so we're looking at a road fund only type project. And for example, we've got about 1.4 million in the annual construction and 6-year program for bridge maintenance work that is strictly 100% road fund. And as Mike said earlier, we've got a new grant program, thanks to the legislature last session, that will help with that. But I think we figured if you spread out the money
use
amongst
it
all the
all.
counties, yeah, Mike can use it all for our laundry
It's
list.
$21 million for 39 counties. And each culvert, you're probably talking about maybe anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million or more. So yeah, you can. And I've got a list of 40. So yeah, you can use it all. But we're knocking off the worst as we go, and we're doing it with our county forces, which is awesome, so that we can do it cheaper and more efficient that way. So.
Wow. And they've got a variety of experience. I think they've touched every type of construction, bridge culvert project they could. So, very proud of the crew's work.
Did Tim give a reason why?
For, I believe he's building a home. He's got some other things occupying his spare time. And that's all we have, commissioners.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I got it.
Any for us? All right.
Oh.
Have a great
the
week.
lines. Loving it, absolutely loving it.
Yeah, they're doing well.
Getting lots of compliments from the community.
They look so much darker, they look so much,
Yeah, so
You know?
much brighter.
Yeah.
and then, even though I teased you about our guys starting out in the like this when they started, we're not doing anything on the states, right? So-
No, no.
So the people they're hiring are worse than us by a long shot, so we're doing well.
Our guys are even complaining that they're missing a little bit here and there and stuff, and so I'm, you know, just stripe them, you know, we're good. So they're doing good. They're putting the right amount of paint and the right amount of beads, so it definitely shows. So,
We'll
How many
notice
miles-
it in this winter,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
How many miles do you think we're gonna get this year?
we're gonna get everything we're trying to accomplish and should be around,
Well, we've got, I don't know, lane miles, but we have a total of 620 miles
of
of road.
paint miles.
But
yeah.
then we've got, yeah,
Yeah, but we're gonna get them all the 07s, 08s, and then a bunch of the 09s. So he said, I think he's 3/4 way done right now. We're up on the peninsula and finishing up, so we're almost
Well,
complete.
and if there's any pieces that are still left, just my hope is that you guys will continue the program as long as you can, get as much as you can, because this is night and day.
Yeah.
The safety that you're improving for the community, and people are noticing it too, by the way, they're very
Oh,
thankful. But if there's so many others that maybe we can get if we can,
Yep.
once we get in front of it, then it's easy to replace it.
What paint we have, we're gonna shoot it all out. We're not saving anything over the winter or anything. So it's, we're gonna, as soon as we get what we have scheduled and whatever paint we have left, we're gonna get additional roads. So we still have to do some of our chip seal roads that we've just accomplished. Shetland, we just got that done last week, so finally.
Well, the cool part about this is it's gonna take as long for you to have to contract out and stuff like that, if you decide that you can go and do it
Yep.
when you're doing these.
Yep, and like I said, we get them done when we want to. too.
And although I tell you, Blacksmith, there were a few that were complaining, I'm getting a lot of very much thank yous. It's making their life, especially, they became very thankful as the fire started breaking out. Just so you know.
Yeah.
They started realizing it betters their life and their ability to operate, so.
Yeah. That was a lot of work to the blacksmith was, so, but
Yeah.
now we're done with it and we're moving on. So we'll get the culverts next week and we got the bypasses for those. They're gonna start building those, I think, this week. So, it'll still be a single lane road and they'll have to sneak around through there, but they won't have to go around. So, worked out for us. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything on your agenda?
No. I'm trying to think, I feel like there's something I was supposed to bring up, but
I enjoyed the risk pool. That was very depressing at times, but
but as you can see, it's not them,
no.
it's our state,
Well, the SAM discussion, sexual abuse and molestation, the amount of that's still going on is pretty depressing.
Well, and just one, as a heads up, it looks like we'll be looking at another increase of about 20%. No choice, it's not, our risk pool is not doing anything bad, they're not mishandling, matter of fact, they're saving money left and right, but our state has made it to where you have third-party people that are coming in and taking these cases, because all they gotta do is get $1 for their client, and then they get all their attorney's fees. And so they're willing just to hang it out, they're not negotiating a settlement, nothing. And of course, the people, God love them, our citizens, they always feel like they're sticking it to the big guy, so they make the amount they pay out even more grandiose, and that just keeps running up, where we used to be able to settle out for 20,000, 50,000, now they're holding out for $1 million, $1.5 million. On these SAM cases, it's talking about, you're looking at, 2 to 12, right? It's just the way it is now, and now they can go back forever.
Yeah, that was bad consequences to the best of intentions, but.
Isn't that just the way it always is, the intentions are good, but boy, nobody would think about those consequences.
Yeah, well, it's created an entire industry of marketing lawfare. I mean, it's they're going out and harvesting victims like almost creating them out of thin air. It's like, wow.
And then because of record retentions where they didn't, they can't even prove they weren't there. Cause the records don't exist anymore. So they say they were there and there's no way to prove they weren't.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
crazy. But that's our risk pool, that's where we're at. But the other ones that are out there that are trying to do it are all trying to come back into our risk pool because the failure. The one thing to keep in mind that I'll share with you that we didn't talk about much is when they all talk about going and looking at other people, you still have to pay another company to insure what you don't insure yourself. But what you don't get is all the employee time that you're gonna have to hire somebody to handle these claims in a different manner. They have to have other people that are specialists to come in that you have to go to, where we have a group, we just lay it on them, they keep it, and they keep us out of lawsuits more than they get us in them. And that's a savings of money. So although I used to really hold them to the fire there, but the truth is, after a while, you can't save more than what you can save. You just can't. There's a limit to everything, and we're limited.
Yeah, it was eye-opening, I have to say. I haven't got anything else.
All right, then, Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
All right, second. We're adjourned.
Time to order tacos.